Welcome back to the CR250 Prime MX build. If you've been following along, you know where we're at, right in the middle, and we're looking to clean up a bunch more parts. I hope you guys have been out riding, taking the old 02 CR250 out, ran it through its paces, found a bunch of stuff that I need to replace and work on before we have some real issues. Got a big box of parts coming for this thing. I'll be doing a quick little update video on that. I don't think I've really even showed this bike off on my channel, but it's an 02 CR250. It's pretty pimped out. It's in good condition. But I'll do a little maintenance video and quick ride on that thing pretty soon once it warms up. And also the CR125. It is not completely finished, but the CR250 that we're dealing with right now is our main priority. So there will be plenty of videos to update both those bikes. For now, CR250. Got to get this thing done. Over the last week, we've gotten new parts and new tools to help us with this build, so we should be ready to go. You guys already know the drill. Subscribe if you're not. Be sure to like this thing. Comment down below. Hopefully you're digging this series. Most importantly, be sure you have those notifications on, and obviously down in the description, all the goodies. Links to all this stuff that I use, as well as Instagram accounts to follow to check out all this moto stuff. Appreciate you guys watching. Let's get into it. So we have a finished pile of parts. Today, I think we're gonna go ahead, deal with the triple clamps and that terrible bearing. The bars, I think I'm gonna swap those out for a pair that I got. Gonna finish up that silencer. We got some new FMF packing in. That dirty little guy needs to be cleaned up ASAP. Radiators, they're looking pretty good for a set of 01s. I'm really wondering if these ever got replaced, but they look like they're the stockers and super good condition. So simple cleanup and maybe just a little straightening. Suspension, so I'm kind of in a pickle with this. Obviously I can rebuild everything on this rear shock, but once I go to put some new nitrogen in it, that's going to be a problem with my local shop. Currently they're very limited on what they're doing, and I don't really want to risk dealing with a shock that I can't get charged over the next couple weeks and I'm not able to finish up this build. What I decided for now is I'm going to clean up the rear, get this all cleaned up. Bearings, they're all good. Clevis, it's all good. Really, there's not even any leaking or anything, but it's always nice to have a fresh rear shock. This might just be a good option just to keep what we have going on. And then for our front suspension, they're dirty as far as I can tell. Nothing on the tubes is gonna be affecting the seals as far as any chips or any scratches or anything that are really gonna snag up on those seals. So for now, just to make life easy, I'm just gonna clean them up. I'm not going to go all out and rebuild them, and potentially in the future I might ship these off to a local company. We've got a couple that are close by. We've got Deja Moto out of Bozeman, and then over in Idaho close by is Evo Suspension. So potentially I might be going with one of those guys to help me out get these perfectly dialed in for my riding and weight and everything. Next we have our subframe that came in straight off of eBay. As you can see, this is an 01 CR125 subframe, but it's just the same. We'll clean that guy up, get it looking like that frame, nice and polished. This guy right here is gonna make our life easy. Spec bolt, complete 2-stroke series bolt kit. I'll just show you real quick. So many bolts and washers and nuts. These are the bars I was talking about. Some fatties, some ODIs that I bought over in Coeur d'Alene a while back for super cheap, 30 bucks. Nice set of bars, and I think these are gonna be the CR high bars. So this is gonna be a pretty decent bend. Got a nice black ODI bar pad that will look good on the bike as well. And I think these bars, the color of them, give just enough pop. Got some tools that came in. Man, this was super hard to find. The steering stem bearing installer, pretty much any ones that I could find were on back order, so luckily ended up with this, and I think it should work for us. The packing, and then our steering stem bearing press. So we got a lot of parts, a lot of goodies. First thing we're gonna do, new packing. This stuff, line her up with the ends, about 3/4 of an inch to an inch longer. lost my goddamn mind trying to get this lined up way down at the end here. But got her. All good to go. I'm not even going to mess with these. These tabs might need to be bent just a little bit. But we'll clean those up in the parts washer. I've done a few of these, but this is by far the worst. Alright, so as you can see, just getting that spinning completely messed up all the needle bearings because they're so seized in there. Oh my god. You do not want your bearings looking like that. Wow, that went just as I thought. Pretty much shattered half that. Destroyed the seal. Couple tiny nicks in the stem. And didn't really mash up around this edge any more than it already was, so toss those in the garbage. And these are ready to be cleaned up. Now while those other goodies are soaking in the parts washer, gonna rip apart these hoses here. Get this thing cleaned up a little bit as well. So this carb is the Mikuni TMX. I'm gonna go hit the parts washer for a few minutes and clean up all that junk. Okay, fresh out of the parts washer. Carb all cleaned up, clamps looking good. Radiator's looking good. Subframe looking good. So now I'm gonna hit the buffing wheel, buff as much as I can on this, and then after that, hit everything with the mag wheel cleaner. So after all of that's done, I'll show you what these things look like. And there we have it. Everything turned out pretty good. Down in the description, I got all the goodies for cleaning up aluminum parts. Just click through to the link, grab this mag wheel cleaner, Scotch-Brite pads, buffing wheel pads, all that good stuff, so you can get your stuff looking like this. Just taking it just from that dull aluminum to just brighten it up a little bit makes all the world of difference. Just like on this bike, I mean, you can only see the clamps right now, but the rads looks super good, and then everything down there, when it ties in with the frame, it makes a world of difference and makes it look awesome.
SoniaBeats.com. Purchase beats with no tax.
So real quick, went ahead, got all the hoses in line, tied up, secured. This right here is the Tusk carb hose kit. In my opinion, I think they need like a foot more. So this comes in just one giant roll. and you just gotta trim it to how you want it. But in my opinion, I think they need like a foot more would be perfect. We'll see how it performs and adjust it from there. While we have this out, we might as well get the throttle assembly, throttle cable, throttle tube, all that good stuff. So what I've got here is a new Motion Pro. Get this flipped around. New Motion Pro throttle cable and throttle tube. Alright, so bearings are packed for this guy. I went ahead, this is a all balls steering stem kit. Place a socket that fits perfectly in there so we don't, for some reason, punch out the actual stem. And what's gonna happen? Double check, make sure you got your seal at the bottom. Don't wanna forget that. Got this guy packed full of grease. I just tossed the foot bags back on the frame, and we're gonna look at knocking these races out. So now we gotta press in those bearing races. To do so, over there I've got the Tusk bearing press. And the triple clamps are on. And this moves beautifully. So at the moment, just gluing back on the Honda logo piece right under there. In the last few minutes, I did a couple things. So the current clutch cable and clutch setup, that's just going in the garbage. The clutch cable's kinked, the lever's broken, and everything's jacked up, dirty, old. So this is what I've got going on. Tusk perch, new Tusk lever. Not the biggest fan of these just because they're so long. And then new Motion Pro cable. So we're all set there. And then what I got going on for this guy is the Tusk kill switch that replaces the one that goes onto the bar and goes right here on the other side of the clutch perch. Then I went ahead and cleaned up the brakes, and then the guy that I bought this bike from gave me some fresh brake pads, so tossed those in. Up top, just added Tusk lever and everything else cleaned up. rear brake cleaned up quite a bit. And then same with the lever and everything up here. Polished her up a little bit. Our parts pile is starting to look a lot better, a lot cleaner, refreshed. Basically, next episode, we're just gonna tackle suspension. Then we'll take a look at the wheels, and then also take a look at the engine. A bunch of stuff in there that I gotta clean up and rebuild. So, still quite a bit to do. Later tonight, I'm gonna try my best to drill that thing out. You can see how messed up it is. So I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll wrap up a few other things in the next episode. We'll see where we are from there. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate every one of you watching. If you can, hit that like button and show some love down in the comments. Also down in the description, all the goods, Instagram links, affiliate links, all that good stuff to help out the channel. So I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.